Writing and solving applications of systems of equations. So we're going to write and then use our graphing calculator to help us determine the solutions to applications of systems of equations. But first, let's review how to graph with the TI-84 and how to solve a system with the TI-84. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get y completely by itself. And so for the first equation, this one's already good to go to be graphed. And so y1 will be 2x plus 6. The second equation, we're going to have to solve this for y. So I'm going to rewrite this out to the side so I've got some space to work. So we need to subtract the x over. So we have negative 5y equaling negative 3x plus 10. And then we need to divide out negative 5 to get the y completely isolated. So y equals a positive 3 over 5x minus 2. And so that will be the second equation that we type in. So let's go ahead and type these guys in. So we're going to press the y equals key on our calculator, and we're going to type these two in. So the first one is fairly simple. 2x, x is up here by the alpha key, plus 6. You can either press enter or you can press the down arrow to move to the next equation. Now, to get this fancy fraction, we're actually going to press alpha and then y equals. So alpha, y equals, and then it's that number 1 and over d. So we're going to press enter. And there's our fancy fraction. 3 in the numerator, arrow down to the denominator, type of 5, and then arrow to the right to get out of the fraction. Type your x, and then minus 2. And we can press enter to get down off of the second equation. Remember, it doesn't matter the order that you put these in. So if you put this one in y1 and this one in y2, that's perfectly fine. Now that we have the equations in, we're going to use the graph key to get the picture in front of us. And there's our graph. So let's go ahead and sketch that on our paper. That way we have some reference for if we look at this a few days from now. So here's the general sketch of the graph, just like this. And we're looking for the solution. So remember that the solution is the intersection point. The intersection point of these two graphs is the solution. So I need to find out what this coordinate right here is. Now you could try to guess, but we're not going to guess. We're going to find the exact point. So we need this blue calculate option to be active. And so we're going to press second and then trace, and that's going to give us this calculate menu. We're going to go down to intersect and press enter. And it asks you for the first curve. So my little blinky X dot is on the first line, so I'm going to press enter, and it automatically moved to the second one. So I'm going to press enter again, and then it asks me, do you want to guess the intersection? Yes, we do. So press enter one more time, and it will guess at the intersection. And so these are some decimals, which is another reason why we didn't want to estimate the point. And so our solution is negative 5.71, comma, negative 5.43. And I rounded to 2 decimal places. So this is where the graph is helpful. This solution tells me that I was going to have some fractions when I was solving by hand. So solving this by hand may have not been quite as easy as having whole number solutions. Now, if we need to zoom out, if you need to zoom out, you're going to press the zoom button, go down to zoom out, which is number 3, press enter to activate it, and then press enter again to actually zoom out. If you are zoomed out and you want to go back to the standard window, you're going to press zoom, and number 6 says Z standard. That gets you back to the original window that it always shows you. Let's get into the word problems. So example number 1, the school that Stefan goes to is selling tickets to a choral performance. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 3 senior citizen tickets and 1 child ticket for a total of $38. The school took in $52 on the second day by selling 3 senior citizen tickets and 2 child tickets. Find the price of a senior citizen ticket and the price of a child ticket. So our variables are really important when you're solving. So find the price of a senior ticket. Well, that means that has to be one of my variables. So I'll name X the price, so money, of a senior ticket. Senior ticket. And it also says find the price of a child ticket. So that has to be Y. So price of a child ticket. So now that I know my variables, we can start writing equations. Totals are the easiest thing to begin with. So I see that they sold a total of $38 on the first day. Well, they sold $38 by selling 3 senior citizen tickets and 1 child ticket. So the way we're going to write this equation then is if you sold 3 senior citizen tickets, the number of tickets times however many we sold, which in this case we don't know, that'll give you the total for your senior tickets. Plus the one child ticket, so 1 times y, should add up to be a total of $38. Now the second equation deals with day number 2. The school took in $52, there's my total now, on the second day by selling 3 senior citizen tickets, so again 3x, and 2 child tickets, so plus 2y, equaling up to $52. So there's the written portion of the system of equations. Now I need to actually figure out the price of a senior ticket and the price of a child ticket. So I need to solve this in one way or another. You can solve this by substitution, elimination, or graphing. Real-world problems are sometimes easier solved by graphing because sometimes they deal with some crazy fractions and some crazy decimals. So we're going to practice with the graph. So I need to change both of these into a y equals situation. So I'm going to subtract 3x from this side here. I'm going to solve the first one for y. So I get negative 3x plus 38. There's the first equation I'm going to graph. The second equation, we're going to again subtract 3x from both sides. So we end up with 2y equals negative 3x plus 52. And then divide everything by 2. So y equals to negative 3 over 2x plus 52 divided by 2 is 26. And this is the second equation we're going to graph. So now that I have both equations in y equals, we're going to go to our calculator. So I'm going to hit the y equals key, and we're going to clear both of these equations. I don't need those anymore. So in y1, I'm going to put the red one. So we have negative 3x plus 38. Then I'm going to down arrow to the next equation, and I need a fancy fraction in the front. So we're going to hit alpha, y equals, and then enter. And we're going to type negative 3 over 2, arrow out of the fraction, x plus 26, and enter. Now that you have your equations, we're going to press the graph key. And so it only gave me this little tiny piece up in the corner. What that means is my graphs are out of this viewing window. So I'm going to have to zoom out in order to see the intersection point. So I'm going to press the zoom key. We're going to go down to zoom out and press enter. Now we actually have to zoom out, so press enter one more time. Now we can clearly see the intersection of these 2 points is here. Again, trying to estimate by guessing and reading the graph on this calculator is not the easiest thing to do. So let's calculate the solution. So second, trace, down to intersect. It wants the first curve, which it's blinking on the first one. Now it's blinking on the second one. Press enter. And guess the intersection. Press enter. So my coordinate for intersection is 8, 14. So my solution coordinate is 8, 14. Now what does that actually mean? 8 is the x, and we called x the senior ticket price because it didn't ask me for a coordinate. It asked me to actually find the price of each ticket. And so since 8 is in the x spot and I called x the price for a senior ticket, that means it's $8 for a senior ticket. Now what is the 14? Well, the 14 is in the y place, and I called y child tickets. So that means it's also $14 for a child ticket. And we have officially solved this system of equations. We have answered the question it wanted. So in order to get $38 on the first day and $52 on the second day by selling this many tickets, they have to sell it for $18 or $8 for a senior ticket and $14 for a child's ticket. Let's look at example 2. I'm going to help you with the variables, and then you guys are going to finish this off on your own. A farmhouse shelters 10 animals. Some are pigs and some are ducks. Altogether, there are 36 legs. How many of each animal are there? So since the question asks you how many of each animal, that's going to be your variables. Well, I have pigs, so let's label X the number of pigs, and I have ducks. So Y can be the number of ducks. Now use this. Write your 2 equations, solve them for y, and then use your calculator to get the solution and describe the meaning. Pause the video, try it out. And here is your solution you should have had for number 2.